Alright guys, this is the first video with Millie and her mum on the channel. Millie doesn't introduce her though because this is the second one they recorded. Tried uploading the first one, a few copyright issues, but it'll be sorted in a couple of days. It was sorted on our end last time as well. So that'll be out in a couple of days. So this is Millie's mum. They enjoyed in the first one. They actually got really talkative in this one. They didn't talk as much in the first one, so you're in for a treat. A little bit of a longer one, and I've just edited it, and it is a great video. So I hope you enjoy it. Millie's mum is awesome as well, so you will really like her. Subscribe. The more you guys subscribe and like, the more we know you want to see us. So hit that like button. We'd appreciate it, and enjoy the video.
Hi guys, today's video is Southern comfort foods you need to try before you die. I have seen this video a long time ago, James.
Okay.
I don't think you probably even know what Southern comfort foods. You probably be able to name any.
I thought Southern Comfort was a drink, actually.
So like Southern comfort foods for them would be like our equivalent of like sausage and mash,
Okay.
toad in the
Shepherd's
hole,
pie,
our kind of
okay.
things. These will be interesting. Southern would be the southern states like Texas, Louisiana,
Okay.
those kind of states.
Mm.
You might enjoy some of them, the look of some of them. You might think some of them look interesting. But yeah, we'll get into it.
Okay.
If you've ever lived in the American South, you'll know that the food down there has its own unique identity, and it's absolutely delicious too. If you haven't tried these,
That looks
well,
nice.
bless
That
your
looks
heart.
good.
These are the Southern comfort foods you absolutely need to try. One of the most popular dishes to have come out of New Orleans are beignets. These airy treats are made with usually square pieces of yeast dough that are fried in hot oil until they puff up. They're then generously dusted with powdered sugar and eaten straight away, preferably accompanied by a mug
do
of
like
cafe au
powdered
lait.
sugar.
Arguably the best place to enjoy a beignet is in New Orleans, preferably at the Café du Monde in the city's French Quarter. But if getting around is proving a little difficult right now, then you're in luck, because they're not difficult to make at home either. Just make sure to turn them often in the oil and be careful not to overcook them. Biscuits and gravy is a hearty breakfast dish that you'll find in restaurants and homes across the South. The soft,
So what's your first view of that?
Of this one on the screen.
Because me and James have tried this,
Oh, okay.
and I will openly say, and I've said it before, it looks disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It looks but it doesn't taste. It's weird. Their biscuits. It's just going to go into it.
Yeah.
It's like similar to our scones,
Okay.
and the gravy is like sausage gravy. It's like a meaty gravy.
Oh, wow.
It's not like our bisto.
I couldn't, actually looking at it, I couldn't even work out what it was, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Some of them
Yeah.
are a bit more runny than that.
Okay.
That's quite a meaty one. But it does taste
Yeah.
really good.
I was just thinking back to the previous one, actually, and they look very like our traditional Jersey Wonders.
Yeah.
That sort of fried cake.
Cake. Yeah. It's but everything's fried.
Mm.
Everything's better fried.
Yeah.
flaky biscuits are smothered in white gravy, which is made from pork sausage drippings, milk, and flour. The gravy is seasoned with black pepper and typically includes pieces of the breakfast sausage too, making it even more flavorful. The good news is that sausage gravy is easy to make at home, and there are plenty of different recipes available online. Failing that, you could pick up some
That's
of the
what we
ready
had.
mix packets at the grocery store, although you'll really want to try the homemade stuff at least once. As for the biscuits, if making them from scratch just isn't feasible, the Pillsbury ones you pop open and bake will work just fine. Just don't let a Southerner catch you taking those shortcuts. Okay, so boiled peanuts sound kind of bland compared to roasted peanuts, but don't judge a book by its cover. These are actually really good. They're made by taking raw peanuts and boiling them for hours in salty water over a fire, until the shells turn soggy. These peanuts are then sold at roadside stands all over the South, where residents and tourists alike enjoy them, often with bottles of Coke or sweet tea. For what it's worth, it's usually best to munch on boiled peanuts outdoors, so you can easily spit out their soggy shells, because it's nearly impossible to crack them open with your hands. Of course, some people opt to eat these peanuts whole, shells and all, but that's one heck of an acquired taste.
Okay.
Do you like peanuts?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Have you ever tried them boiled?
I don't know. I haven't ever tried them boiled. I have had them raw, and I like them salted, and I like dry roasted.
So you might have to give boiled a go.
Maybe,
Sounds like that's what you're missing.
Yeah. Give it a try.
For centuries, people have been making use of their stale bread by creating their own kinds of bread pudding. Often made with bread, cream, eggs, sugar, spices, and raisins, modern bread pudding is the heartiest of comfort foods and should do wonders for warming you up on a cold and dreary day. So how do you make bread pudding even better? Just add bourbon. In the South, people often add a few dashes of bourbon to a number of different recipes, and bread pudding is one of them. The bourbon combines with the cream and sugar to create a thick, warm sauce that is drizzled over the warm bread pudding right before serving.
Wow.
Brunswick stew
We have bread bread and butter pudding.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah.
It's
My mum grew up on bread and butter pudding, I think.
Yeah, but it's mainly used. We mainly eat it after, don't we? It's like a
Yeah,
dessert.
it's more of a pudding. Yeah, after
Whereas
a meal.
that seems
yeah.
like more of a main meal.
Yeah, and I don't think it has quite so much in it. I think it's sort of just bread, milk, raisins, and I never really tried it as a child.
No.
But that with the bourbon looked really nice.
Be interesting to see what that tastes like.
It was a hearty tomato-based stew that's hugely popular in the South. It typically features lima beans, corn, and other vegetables, along with some sort of meat. The base includes barbecue sauce and a little hot sauce for some heat too. Early versions of the stew
Apart
use
from that.
squirrel meat, but if you're not brave enough to keep it authentic, you can always substitute the squirrel with rabbit, chicken, or just about anything else.
Chicken or
Virginians
pork or
claim the
something.
stew
Yeah, like
originated
that.
in their Brunswick County, while Georgians will tell you it was first made in the city of Brunswick, Georgia. Wherever it came from, however, it's a truly delicious comfort food that'll easily take the chill out of a wintry day.
That's nice.
Grab some cornbread, or loaf of any crusty bread for that matter. to
That
sop up
is some French bread.
Yeah.
That's that
Yeah.
in like November.
I do like cornbread actually as well.
Have
though.
you tried
It's
it?
really nice.
Have you actually?
Yeah, yeah, because cornbread is also a bit like the Portuguese. Is it milão?
Yes,
They
I
have
like,
it similar, isn't it? Yeah.
We've not tried it yet. We've got a mix to make one.
It's nice.
of all the southern goodness. Fried catfish is a simple dish that's available at most restaurants that serve fish in the South. And the good news is that catfish is pretty good for you, since it's high in omega-3 fatty acids and low in mercury. If you can't find it at a restaurant near you, however, your grocery store may offer farmed catfish, which is also typically clean and nutritious. Catfish is easy enough to prepare. Dip it in milk, dredge it in
not
seasoned
shouting
cornmeal,
today.
and fry it in hot oil. It only takes a few minutes to
Swear.
get it golden brown on the outside and beautifully flaky on the inside. Add a squirt of lemon and a side of rice, then start chowing down. Pure
nice.
bliss.
I like when you see fish that is a meat that is like pure white.
Yeah.
Makes you feel
A bit more
like it's
appetizing.
good.
Yeah.
For a truly comforting meal, there's nothing like a bowl of chicken and dumplings. If you aren't in the South, where you can find them at most sit-down restaurants, you can try making these at home by dropping biscuit dough into cooking soup. And though they aren't difficult to make, dumplings are a kind of art form, and they can take some time to perfect. You don't want your dumplings undercooked and wet inside, but you also don't want them so overcooked that they start falling apart in the broth. Stick them
That
with
looks
the two
nice with the white sauce rather than the brown one. Yeah. Don't know if you heard that, Mike, but that was really loud. It's nice to see it with like the paler colour than the
Yeah,
dark.
really nice because we normally have beef stews, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
pick, and if it comes out clean, you're good to go. Chicken fried steak, sometimes called country fried steak, is made from a tenderized cube steak which is battered like fried chicken, pan-fried and topped with white gravy. While you can find chicken fried steak in an array of southern states, it's most closely associated with Texas. And as with most things, it's always bigger in Texas too. In fact, at Lulu's Cafe in San Antonio, you can find a 21-ounce version of this dish.
That's a
And
big
it's not a
steak.
coincidence that Lulu's is also home to the famous 3-pound cinnamon roll too.
Wow.
That's just how they roll down there, as it were. For your next Super Bowl party, why not forego the wings and serve up a batch of southern fried chicken gizzards instead? Believe it or not, your guests might thank you for it. Okay, so you probably don't want to think too much about what a gizzard is, but that'll be easy
No, do
enough
you know
to
what
do
gizzard
once
is,
you
yeah?
realize how good it tastes.
It's very.
Doesn't sound great. Doesn't
No.
sound great.
I don't think I'd be that adventurous actually.
No.
You can cook gizzards in a number of ways, but it's best to boil them first and then coat them before deep frying. Throw in a little hot sauce, and soon you won't be able to get enough of these tender little morsels.
With the sauce
Chicken
on
pot
it.
pie is an iconic southern comfort food that, when done right, simply can't be beaten. And done right doesn't mean grabbing a pie from your grocer's freezer section. A flaky golden brown homemade crust is essential for this southern specialty. Inside, the chicken needs to be moist and plentiful. The vegetables must be neither too firm nor too mushy, and the gravy creamy but not goopy. Is it a challenge to find a good chicken pot pie? Yes, but it really is
It
worth
does.
it. And if you don't trust restaurants to get
There's
it right,
something about vegetables and chicken
Yeah.
that I just like it.
Yeah.
Really
Lovely
like
and wholesome and warming and
You could give this a
healthy
go
as well.
for me.
Yeah.
You could try this for me.
Try.
'Cause James eats pie now.
Ready roll pastry.
He eats pie now, so we could eat this.
Okay.
Yeah, so you
Give it
could
a
try
go.
this.
Yeah.
right, you could always experiment with different recipes at home. It might take some time to perfect, but once you land on just the right method, you'll never want
Can
to cook
taste it,
anything
really.
else. Ambrosia didn't actually originate in the South, but you'll still find it at plenty of southern potlucks. This variety of fruit salad typically contains mandarin oranges, mini marshmallows, pineapple chunks, and shredded coconut mixed with some sort of dairy ingredient. Some people use mayonnaise, while others use cream cheese, plain yogurt,
See, that
or
sounds
whipped
weird
cream.
to me, putting mayonnaise with fruit.
Yeah, I think I would probably go for the the other option,
Yeah.
like yogurty or
Yeah, mayonnaise with fruit that sounds like a weird combination.
yeah,
But I guess if it works, it works.
yeah.
You might also find some potluckers add in bananas, cherries, and nuts too. Because why the heck not, right? Think of it like a banana split without the ice cream. And then maybe throw in some ice cream anyway. If you live north of the Mason-Dixon line, you've probably never experienced chitlins before, and you are most definitely missing out. Chitlins are made from the large intestines of a hog, and they need to be carefully cleaned and prepared before cooking, for obvious reasons. Typically, the intestines are soaked in baking soda and water, rinsed several times, turned inside out, and cleaned by hand before being boiled for several hours. And just in case you're doing this at home, be warned. Chitlins smell truly disgusting while they are boiling, so put some onion and lemon in the water to tone down the odor. After they are boiled, batter and deep fry them. Then serve them up with a little hot sauce. Though
I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, I don't know that I would be able to try those.
I don't know if I
I think
could do
they're
that.
probably an acquired taste.
Yeah.
If you can get your kind of head past what they are, maybe.
You could probably... It's like black pudding, I think.
Yeah.
If you get your head past it, I think
Yeah.
you're okay.
Yeah.
But my head won't go past that, I don't think.
They probably taste amazing.
Yeah, probably with all the sauce and the flavour.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania has its own version of chow chow, it's actually completely different from the southern variety. In the South, chow chow is a cabbage-based type of pickled relish that incorporates onions, peppers, tomatoes, and a whole lot of seasoning. This stuff is often used as a topping for hot dogs and hamburgers, but you could also use it to top your cornbread, fish cakes, beans, and even your mashed potatoes. In fact, you can put it on just about anything. It'll taste great no matter what. Collard greens are a leafy green vegetable not completely unlike turnip or mustard greens, and are most often associated with soul food. They can be bitter and tough if not cooked properly. But if they're done right, then they'll make the perfect side dish to any southern meal. After washing them well, chop the leaves into inch-long pieces, then simmer them in water. People often throw a ham bone into the pot, along with garlic and onion for a little extra flavor. But one of the best additions to collard greens has got to be bacon. You can never go wrong with bacon. Red-eye
It's nice
gravy
and
is made
hearty.
with the
It
grease
does
and
look
drippings
really
of
nice.
think-
Yeah.
I think you could try that too, actually.
Yeah, it does look really good. And I do like greens.
Yeah, like beans
Yeah,
and...
spring greens
Yeah.
and things. Yeah, lovely.
pan-fried ham and black coffee. And yeah, okay, that might sound kinda gross, but this stuff really is amazing. The coffee is first used to deglaze the pan, but is then combined with the grease on a 1-to-1 ratio, resulting in a highly unusual yet genuinely delicious gravy. You can pour the simple gravy over your ham, potatoes, rice, or grits, but many folk choose to simply sop it up with biscuits. Crawfish, crayfish, crawdads, or mudbugs, whatever you call them in your neck of the woods, these freshwater crustaceans are some of the tastiest seafood out there. Of course, you can eat crawfish meat dipped in drawn butter, just like you would with lobster. But if you ever find yourself in the Cajun areas of Louisiana, do yourself a favor and seek out crawfish etouffee. This is when crawfish meat in a spicy roux is poured over rice for an amazing dish with a seriously
looks
deep
good.
flavor.
Like with the rice.
Yeah,
That looks like something...
it does look nice.
Yeah, I would
Really
taste.
tasty.
Yeah.
Amazing dish with a seriously deep flavor. As simple as it sounds, you don't want to make fried chicken and waffles at home. Instead, hop on over to one of the South's many awesome waffle establishments or diners, the places that really get it right. If you haven't experienced chicken and waffles before, it might seem like an unusual combination, but it really does work. Crispy on the outside and juicy on the inside, perfectly seasoned fried chicken makes a heavenly partner for a plate of buttery waffles. This is also an incredibly versatile dish and should work great for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a late night snack.
I wouldn't think to put
Fried-
chicken with waffles. Because waffles
No.
for us, like those waffles are like a dessert kind
Like a
of.
pudding
Yeah.
type thing. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I
never
like
thought of them
those.
as savoury.
No, I haven't either.
Green tomatoes is a simple southern side dish that packs a big punch. The key when making fried green tomatoes is to avoid them turning into a soft, soggy mess. Check your unripened tomatoes are suitably firm, then cut them into 3/8 to half-inch slices, and soak them for an hour in a mixture of buttermilk and hot sauce. Dredge the tomatoes in a combination of cornmeal and cornstarch, then fry them in bacon grease over medium-high heat until they're crispy on the outside. But be careful not to overcook them. You can dip them in just about anything, but a remoulade with mayo, hot sauce, horseradish, and Cajun spices would be the ultimate authentic accompaniment.
I miss the smell of coffee and bacon frying.
So something I'm wondering is a green tomato. We have red tomatoes.
Yeah.
Green ones to us when they're growing means that they're not
ready.
right. But that kind of almost looks a bit like a pickle, like a pickly flavour. I wonder if it is.
Yeah, I wonder if they're similar to like
Yeah, like a
gherkins.
gherkin. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know
Yeah.
actually. Let us know in the comments.
Oh, what I wouldn't give for a plate of fried green tomatoes.
If you're looking for something a little out of the ordinary to fill you up, consider jambalaya, a favorite in
Yes.
Louisiana, Jambalaya is a mix of sausage, chicken, seafood, and vegetables,
Looks
cooked
good.
in the same pot with rice and stock. Creole jambalaya contains tomatoes, while the Cajun version does not. Both, of course, are extremely tasty.
Jambalaya.
In Cajun jambalaya, in rural Louisiana, you might also find a variety of game meats used, as well as alligator, crayfish, and even turtle. All Southerners know that everything's better when you fry it, and okra is no exception. To make these golden nuggets of veggie goodness for yourself, slice your okra, dip it in buttermilk, and then coat it in cornmeal and season before deep frying. The best thing here is that
So
okra
I
is
always thought okra was a fish because I think of orca,
Oh.
but it's not. It's just vegetables. But it sounds like it should be a fish. I don't know why.
seriously good for you, since it's low in calories and contains a great deal of fiber, potassium, calcium, and vitamins. The hot brown sandwich originated at the restaurant in the Brown Hotel in Louisville, Kentucky in the 1920s, and it's still served there today. The hot brown is traditionally an open-faced turkey sandwich with tomatoes, covered in Mornay sauce, which is baked, topped with bacon, and then broiled. Some people say it was originally created with peaches rather than tomatoes. Others swear it's a great hangover cure. Pretty much everyone agrees, however, that it's a genuine, bona fide, once-in-a-lifetime sandwich.
It's good.
If you've ever eaten at Long John Silver's, you've probably had their hush puppies. But the ones you can get at a southern restaurant or fish fry are a heck of a lot better than the Long John variety. Hush puppies are basically balls of fried cornmeal batter that are often served alongside fried fish or shrimp. Though hush puppies aren't exactly complex, they're kind of like potato chips, in that it's virtually impossible to eat just one. Southern pecan pie made with a splash of high-quality bourbon is hard to beat. If you don't have a restaurant in your area that makes a killer pecan pie, though, it's not too difficult to make at home. However, you'll want to experiment with the amounts of corn syrup, brown sugar, and bourbon you're using until you find just the right combination. And sure,
So
you
me
might...
and James made this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had a feeling that
Yeah.
you said you'd had a go.
And I'm not really like a nutty kind of person,
No.
but you don't really taste the pecans.
Oh, okay.
It's weird. It tastes really nice, but
Yeah.
you don't really taste the nut kind of flavour.
I've never tried them, actually. I can't even imagine what the
No,
flavour is. Is
but
it
it's-
almondy?
Yeah, I don't know. It just, to me, it just tastes nuttier, so I don't like nuts.
Okay.
But you don't really taste it. You taste like the sweet side of it.
Yeah.
Because you use a lot of golden syrup and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I don't
I
know.
might have to try that as well.
It reminded me of Anzac biscuits.
Oh,
That
very
kind of
good.
taste.
Yeah, okay.
We ended up having to bake a load of pies to get it right. But who's going to complain about that? If you aren't from the South, then there's a chance you aren't too familiar with pimento cheese. Basically, pimento cheese is a mixture of cheese mixed with mayo and pimento peppers. It can be spread on crackers, stuffed into celery, and scooped onto chips. Some people add it to scrambled eggs or grits, while others use it as a relish for brats, burgers, and hot dogs. In Louisiana, they spice it up by adding hot sauce or cayenne pepper into the mix. But the possibilities for pimento cheese are endless, and once you start incorporating it into your recipes, you're never going to want to stop. Pot liquor is the liquid that's left behind after you boil green vegetables. So what do you do with it other than pour it down the sink? Well, some people save pot liquor and use it in place of stock in their next stew or soup, while others pour it over rice or potatoes. But the best thing to do with pot liquor is drink it. It might seem a little odd, but that way you can reap all the nutrients that have
Yeah,
boiled out of the
that's it.
I
grain.
guess that's where
Yeah.
all the good stuff is, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. All the vitamins and
Yeah.
everything is all.
It's like in the, people say if when you're doing a roast, your potato water for your gravy.
Yeah.
'Cause it's got all your...
And your vegetable water. It's
got your good
That's
stuff.
it, yeah.
Red beans and rice is a staple dish in Louisiana Creole cuisine. Traditionally, families took the ham hocks, bones, vegetables, and beans that were left over from Sunday dinner and used them to create a scrumptious dish of spicy beans that were served with rice the next day. Cayenne pepper, Tabasco sauce, and other seasonings can turn up the heat on this hearty meal, while some people like to add in sausage or other meats. Here's a tip though: if you boil bones to make a broth for the base, you'll get exactly the flavor you want without having to add anything else. Gumbo is sometimes confused with jambalaya, but it's not the same thing at all. The key difference is that with jambalaya, the rice is cooked with the rest of the ingredients. With gumbo, however, the rice is cooked separately. Gumbo is a stew created with a strong, robust stock, sausage, shrimp, other shellfish, and the holy trinity of vegetables: bell peppers, celery, and onions. The most important aspect of home cooking a great gumbo is perfecting the roux that's used as its base. Or you could just head down to New Orleans and get someone to make it for you. Your call.
See, the gumbo looks good. It looks not appetizing, but everything in it I like. So I
Yeah.
feel like I'd try it.
Yeah.
Like I would,
I think the jambalaya would be one. That
yeah,
I would,
with the rice.
Because it reminds me of paella as well.
Yeah, I
which is
suppose
the same
similar.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that real macaroni and cheese doesn't come out of a box, nor does it come with a packet of powdered cheese.
I do
Real
love
good
macaroni and
old-fashioned
cheese.
Southern mac and cheese is a completely separate dish altogether. It's often created with the combination of cheeses, and you can use anything from smoked cheddar and Monterey Jack to Gruyere and Velveeta. Southern recipes usually feature heavy whipping cream, evaporated milk, or both. And the dish is baked in the oven until the sauce is creamy and the
That
top
looks
is
so
crispy.
cheesy.
No matter how much you love macaroni and cheese, you've never really tried it until you've had it in the South. You might have seen sweet potato casserole at Thanksgiving dinner and passed it by, but it's time to stop sleeping on this delicious dish. Though some folks love it topped with charred marshmallows, others prefer a topping made with brown sugar and pecans. Give it a go, and you'll soon realize that this often overlooked Thanksgiving side dish deserves a place on your dinner table all through the year.
So you've noticed in America, you could just add anything to
Yeah.
a dish and it works.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's great.
Check out one of our newest
It's like
videos
free
right here.
license
Yeah, it
to
is.
put whatever you want together.
It's but we wouldn't be that brave.
No.
We
but,
just stick with
yeah.
our mash, our sausage,
Mm.
maybe a few vegetables.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
they just add anything to
Yeah.
any dish, and it like oh my voice is gone. It makes it, I don't know. Like you wouldn't think about putting marshmallows on top of.
I know. We're not as adventurous, I don't think.
We're not. We're definitely
We
not.
should be more adventurous.
Do you think you'd give any of those a go?
Definitely.
Will you try and make me the chicken pot pie?
Yeah.
You got to. If you're going to say it, everyone's going to hold you to it.
Yeah,
so
okay. All right,
You
then.
got to try it.
I'll give it a go. Actually, southern fried is one of my favourite flavourings for
It's a
like
good flavour, isn't it?
you like chicken
Mm.
in the southern fried batter and
Yeah.
and our new thing at home at the minute is southern fried chips.
Ooh,
Gosh,
southern
they're
fried chips.
amazing, yeah.
I haven't tried that.
Yeah. Oh, they're lovely.
Maybe you have to do that with me with the pie.
Invite you around for dinner.
That would be nice. If you hit the like button and subscribe button, we could do some more videos. If you
Yeah,
want to see
great.
my mum instead of James in the videos. Yeah, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one.